Trump's post suggesting that slavery wasn't that bad might be connected to the fact that he talked about the restoration of monuments honoring Confederates, and that could be connected to renaming military bases to honor traitors who believed that it was simply just property taken away from them without just cause. I have a feeling that those are all connected together. Or when Donald Trump once said he didn't want black people counting his money in his Atlantic City casinos, he wanted Jews counting his money. You see where I'm going at with this? There are connections here. That's why I've always called him a blatant racist. He's no better than Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller just speaks out more on his white supremacy. This is despicable. It's disgusting. As I said before, and I say again, it was never make America great again. It was make America white again. And the administration proves it every single day. I want you to listen to this interaction that Pete Hegseth had on Fox News when he's talking about rebuilding these statues of Confederates. And he says it's because we need to be proud of our history. Have a listen to this.
The Reconciliation Monument. It has been returned to Arlington National Cemetery following its removal in 2023. This is a Confederate monument. Many suggest it was designed and put in place to symbolize the reconciliation after the Civil War. It was taken away, as I mentioned, several years ago. Why was it important for you to bring that back to Arlington National Cemetery?
Because we recognize our history. We don't erase it, Will. We don't follow the woke lemmings off the cliff that want to tear down statues. We look at and learn from our history, all aspects of it. And so Arlington deserves to have, and we're grateful to the state of Virginia for partnering with us. It wasn't easy. We fought to make it happen. And the Reconciliation Monument will return to Arlington where it belongs to recognize the service of Americans of all chapters. So we're not tearing stuff down. We're done with that. We're putting statues back. We're putting paintings back. We're recognizing our history. We're restoring the names of bases as we've done across the country because we're proud of our history. As difficult as it may have been in some chapters, we're going to teach it, we're going to live it, and we're going to fight for it.
Isn't that interesting? Because on the same day that Pete Hegseth said, we're proud of our history, we're going to learn from it, but museums can't mention slavery. That's completely out of the question. So when it comes to slavery, no, can't touch that. Leave that out of museums. But when it comes to these statues of these Confederates, we're going to rebuild these statues because we need to be proud of our history. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Tell me that's not racism from the guy who literally has a tattoo that says 100% white. We know who Pete Hegseth is. We know who Donald Trump is. We know who Stephen Miller is. Okay? These are white supremacist sympathizers at a minimum. But I want you to listen to what Donald Trump said back in 2017 because he was striking a very, very different tone back in 2017 when he talked about the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. Donald Trump obviously saying something very different today, saying that he wants to get rid of all this history when it comes to slavery. But back in 2017, he was saying something very different. This is about 8 years ago. Have a listen to this.
Actually, what he said during that tour. Listen to this.
I had the privilege of visiting the National Museum of African American History and Culture right here in Washington, D.C. It's a new, beautiful Smithsonian museum that serves as a shining example of African Americans' incredible contributions to our culture, our society, and our history. It also tells of the great struggle for freedom and equality that prevailed against the sins of slavery and the injustice of discrimination. The work and love of the people who helped create such a masterpiece is a testament to the legacy of so many leaders it honors.
So was it that he didn't believe what he read from the teleprompter as he recorded that video, or what?
8 years later, that was Donald Trump back in 2017. But Donald Trump today, nope, the complete opposite. Smithsonian museums, too negative about how bad slavery was. Keep in mind, I repeat once again, and I would tend to believe that there's some sort of connection between Donald Trump making the case that slavery wasn't that bad, restoring these monuments honoring Confederates, and renaming these military bases to honor traitors. Do you see where I'm going at with this, ladies and gentlemen? This is not some sort of coincidence. These are all connected together because Donald Trump and so many of his white MAGA base don't want to talk about slavery. They don't even want Black History Month. They don't even want Martin Luther King Day. There's a reason for that, because they're all called racists. That's why. Because when it comes to our Black history, and yes, slavery, sadly, was a big part of American history, Donald Trump and many of his doofus racist supporters do not want anybody learning about it. Or in this case, that's what museums are meant for, learning about the negatives in history and the positives. And yes, slavery is a big part of American history, whether people like it or not. Doesn't mean that everything in our history was bad. It doesn't mean that everything America stands for is bad, but it was a big part of our history. And Donald Trump and his administration want to erase it. That should bother you no matter what the color of your skin is. Obviously, there are African Americans all over the country that would probably, I would imagine, be irate. We all should be upset. And if you're not upset at this and you don't call it for what it is, which is racism, and trying to erase parts of our history because they just don't want to talk about it, it's the same thing when, a jobs report comes out that is negative to the president. It's fake news. Let's have it go away. Let's fire the person and get somebody else in there and the fix is in. Or when he loses an election, it was rigged. It was fake. Or when a report comes out that he doesn't like, he calls it fake news. Or when we learn he's in the Epstein files and he just wants the story to go away. He wants the Epstein story to go away, just like he wants slavery and people talking about slavery. He wants that to go away as well because it doesn't fit his white supremacist narrative.